Okay, students, today also we are going to discuss some of the problems and concepts also regarding this colligative properties. So, look at this problem. Molecular mass obtained by sodium chloride by using colligative properties experiment. They are asking us what is the molecular mass of sodium chloride obtained by using these colligative properties experiment. Actually, what is the calculated molecular weight of sodium chloride? What is the calculated molecular weight of sodium chloride? Sodium chloride calculated molecular weight is 23 plus 35.5. 58.5. This is the calculated molecular weight of sodium chloride. But when we do the colligative properties experiment, we does not get this value. Then what is the value we are obtaining? How we are going to calculate that one? So look at this one. Colligative properties are directly proportional to number of particles. Colligative properties are directly proportional to number of particles. Inversely proportional to gram molar mass, gram molecular weights. As the number of particles increases, gram molecular weight decreases. As the number of particles increases, gram molecular weight decreases. When sodium chloride is dissolved in water, it dissociates to Na plus and Cl minus ions. Actually, what we are thinking, we are placing only one particle of sodium chloride. But when this sodium chloride is dissolved in water, it is giving two particles, two ions. It is giving two ions. That means number of particles increases. When number of particles increases, molecular weight decreases. So how many number of particles increases? Number of particles become twice. So molecular weight is reduced to half. Actually we dissolve only one particle of sodium chloride, but it is giving in solution it is producing two particles. That means number of particles become twice. Gram molecular weight is going to reduce half. So actual gram molecular weight is 58.5. When it become half, we get 29.25. This is the molecular weight what we obtained during colligative properties experiment. That means the calculated molecular weight of sodium chloride, calculated formula weight of sodium chloride, not equal to the experimental formula weight of sodium chloride. The next one is ratio of values of colligative properties for equimolar mercurous chloride and sugar solution. Ratio of values of colligative properties for equimolar H2Cl2 and sugar solution. So now you have to find out the ratio of colligative properties. So colligative property of Hg2Cl2 by colligative property of sugar equal to colligative properties are directly proportional to number of particles. When mercurous chloride undergoes dissociation, you will get like this. Hg2Cl2 gives rise to Hg2 2 plus 2Cl minus. So how many particles we are going to get? Only 3 particles, not 4. So 3 by sugar. Sugar does not undergo dissociation or association by 1. So what is the ratio? 3 by 1. 3 is to 1. Now look at this one. Which solution have highest boiling point? Which solutions have highest boiling point? As the number of particles increases, boiling point also increases. As the number of particles increases in the solution of the solute, boiling points also increases, but freezing points decreases. Number of particles of solute is directly proportional to boiling points. Number of particles of solute is directly proportional to boiling points, but inversely proportional to freezing points. As the number of particles increases in the solution, boiling points increases, but freezing points decreases. So look at all these things. This glucose solution, glucose does not undergo any dissociation or association. So the number of particles remains the same. So 0.1 ml glucose have the 0.1 moles of glucose. Look at here, 1 ml of sodium chloride. When sodium chloride is placed in water, it dissociates to give Na plus ions and Cl minus ions. Actually, how many moles you are placed in water? 0.1 moles of sodium chloride is placed in water, but it gives Na plus ions and Cl minus ions. So how many moles you will get? How many particles? 2 moles of particles. Look at the barium chloride. Barium chloride will dissociate like this: Ba2 plus 2Cl minus. From here you are getting 3 moles of particles. 0.3 moles of particles. Urea does not undergo dissociation. So no dissociation takes place. It remains the same. So in which thing you are going to experience more number of particles? Barium chloride. In barium chloride you are seeing 0.3 moles of particles. So highest boiling point is observed in 0.1 molar barium chloride. The next questions are which one produces lowest freezing point? Which one produces lowest freezing point? Before this question, we already given some hint. Number of particles inversely proportional to freezing point. As number of particles increases, freezing point decreases. So find out in which thing you have find out the number of particles in all the things. So how many particles will you get from this sodium chloride? Sodium chloride will give you 1 Na plus 1 Cl minus, means 2 particles, means 0.2 moles of particles. So what about this thing? From here you will get 0.02 moles of particles. What about this thing? 2 moles of particles. About here 0.002 moles of particles. So in which thing you are observing more number of particles? In sodium chloride you are observing 2 moles of particles, means more number of particles. More number of particles means more number of particles are present, the freezing point is low. So lowest freezing point is observed when 1 m sodium chloride is present in solution. Now come to this question. Freezing point of equimolar aqueous solution will be highest for. So now they are asking highest freezing point. Highest freezing point means highest freezing point. When you get the highest freezing point, if you find the less number of particles, you will get the highest freezing point. Look at here. How many moles of particles are there? 0.2 moles of particles are there. What about here? 0.3 moles of particles, because each barium chloride will give you 1 Da2 plus ions and 2 Cl minus ions. Total number of particles from each BaCl2 is 3. From 0.1 from 0.1 to 1 m, you will get 0.3 moles of particles. Glucose does not undergo any dissociation or association. So you have only 0.1 mole of particles. Here, each calcium phosphate will give you 5 particles. Each calcium phosphate will give you 5 particles. 0.1 m will give you 0.5 moles of particles. 0.1 m will give you 0.5 moles of particles, calcium phosphate particles. So in which thing you are observing the less number of particles? This 0.1 m glucose solution, you are observing less number of particles. Less number of particles means more freezing point. So highest freezing point is observed in this one. Next one, if a solute undergoes dimerization and trimerization, the minimum value of Van Hoff's factor. So a solute is there which is undergoing dimerization and also trimerization. Now he is asking what are the Van Hoff's factors when it is undergoing dimerization and when it is undergoing trimerization. First write down the equation of this dimerization. 2A gives rise to A2 is the dimerization equation. Trimerization equation, 3A gives rise to A3 is the trimerization equation. Van Hoff factor is I. We have 3 formulas of this Van Hoff factor. One of them is number of particles after association or dissociation by number of particles before association or dissociation. This dimerization is an association process. So number of particles after association. Here association is taking place by number of particles before association. So after association, how many particles are there? 1. By before association, 2. So Van Hoff factor is 1/2 for this association process. Now what is the Van Hoff factor for this trimerization? So after association, how many particles will you get in? Only 1. Before association, how many particles are there? 3. So it will I is equal to 1/3. Here I is equal to 1/3. So this is 1/2 and that one is 1/3. Now what about this one? Van Hoff factor for Hg2Cl2 in its aqueous solution will be Van Hoff factor of Hg2Cl2 in its aqueous solution will. So they are asking the Van Hoff's factor of Hg2Cl2 when it is undergoing 80% ionization. So write down the ionization of this Hg2Cl2. This is the ionization of Hg2Cl2. When this one undergoes dissociation, how many particles you will get? You will get 3 particles. What is the degree of ionization formula when ionization taking place? What is the degree of ionization formula when ionization takes place? Alpha is equal to I minus 1 by n minus 1. This is the formula. So we have to find out the Van Hoff's factor I. So it is 80% ionized. 80% ionized means 80 by 100. 80 by 100 we will get 0.8 I minus 1 by 3 minus 1. N is equal to 3. 3 minus 1. So 0.8 into 2 is equal to I minus 1. 1.6 is equal to 1.6 plus 1 is equal to I. So therefore I is equal to 2.6. So this is the Van Hoff's factor of this mercurous chloride when it is undergoing 80%. The next question is osmotic pressure of 0.1 m aqueous magnesium chloride at 300 Kelvin is 4.92 atmosphere. What is the percentage of ionization? So that is the question. First write down whatever they given in the problem. Concentrations are given. C is equal to 0.1. Temperature 300 kelvins. Osmotic pressure 4.92 atmospheres. Number of particles. Magnesium chloride dissociate like this. MgCl2 dissociate like this. Mg2 plus 2Cl minus. So N is equal to 3. They are asking alpha. Alpha is equal to question. So what is the formula for alpha? Alpha is equal to I minus 1 by n minus 1. So alpha is equal to I value. If they given the I value, sorry. So you have to find out the alpha. From here we will get the I value. I is equal to number of particles after dissociation by number of particles before dissociation. After dissociation, how many particles are there? 3. By before dissociation, only 1. I become equal to 3. So from this equation, from this dissociation, we will get I also. Next, to find out the alpha. Sorry guys, here For 1 mole it is 3. For 1 particle is taken, when 1 molecule of this magnesium chloride is taken, we will get I as 3. But in the problem, they will give you only 0.1 m magnesium chloride is given. So in such cases, you have to identify the I. Don't take this dissociation process. So first find out the I. After that, we will calculate the alpha. So pi is equal to ICRT. I is the Van Hoff's factor. So I am substituting the values. 4.92 is equal to I into concentration is 0.1. R value solution constant is 0.082. Temperature is 300 kelvins. After simplifying this, we will get I is equal to 2.46. Now we get the I. From here you have to calculate the alpha. Alpha is equal to I minus 1 by n minus 1. So I value is 2.46 minus 1 by n value, number of particle after dissociation, 3 minus 1. So this one comes as 1.46 by 2. Zero point 7 So percentage of alpha is equal to 0.73 into 73%. Sorry students, here we done a small calculation mistake. So this is 4.92 by 2.46, which comes as 2. So this is 2 minus 1 by 2. 1 by 2. So alpha comes as 0.5. Percentage of alpha is equal to 0.5 into 100, which comes as 50%. So how much this magnesium chloride is undergoing ionization? 50% is undergoing ionization. Look at this problem. 75.2 grams of phenol dissolved in 960 grams of solvent of Kf 14 kelvins kg moles. If depression in freezing point is 7 kelvins, find out the percentage of phenol that undergoing dimerization. So now they are asking how much of phenol is undergoing the dimerization process. First we are going to write down all the data which is given in the one. So weight of phenol, (75.2). Weight of the solvent, 960 When name is given, indirectly they are giving the gram molecular weights. Gram molecular weight of phenol. Whenever names are given, you have to remember they are indirectly giving the gram molecular weights. Gram molecular weight of phenol is 94. So what we have to find out? Percentage of alpha. We need this one. Percentage of alpha. When you need to find out percentage of alpha, the formula is I minus 1 by 1 by n minus 1. This is the formula when association is taking place. This is the formula when association is taking place. They said dimerization means n become 2. So to get alpha, which thing we need? I. So first to find out the I. To find out I, what is the formula? Delta TF is equal to depression in freezing point is equal to I into Kf into m. This is the formula which we have. So if you find out I, then we can find out the alpha. We know delta TF. So what is depression in freezing point? Depression in freezing point how much? 7. I. Kf is given. How much the Kf? 40. So which thing you needed? Molarity. So molarity can be obtained from this part. So molarity is equal to molarity question mark. Molarity is equal to weight by gram molecular weight into 1000 by weight of the solvent in grams. So what is the weight? 75.2. What is the gram molecular weight? 94,000 by 960. So molarity comes as 0.83 m. So molarity is 0.83 m. So molarity is 0.83. From there we have to find out the I. I is equal to 7 by 40 into 0.83. So I is equal to 0.602. So once we find out the I, it becomes easy to finding out the alpha. So alpha is equal to I minus 1 by n minus 1. So I is 0.6024 minus 1 by, so we will do one thing. Simply we will take 0.6. 0.6 minus 1 by 1 by 2 minus 1. So which will comes as minus 0.45 minus 0.5. 4 by 5. 4 by 5 means 0.8. So percentage of alpha is equal to 0.8 into 100, which comes as 80%. Now this question, 5% cane sugar solution has freezing point of 271 kelvins. Calculate the freezing point of 5% glucose in water. If freezing point of water is 273.15 kelvins. So here we have two different solutions are given. One is cane sugar solution, another one is glucose solution. Now they are asking the freezing point. Now they are asking the freezing point of glucose solution. Freezing point of glucose solution. Cane sugar solution freezing point is given. You have to find out the freezing point of glucose solution. So you have to compare these two things. Depression freezing point of sugar by depression freezing point of glucose equal to glucose and sugar does not undergo Km into M. I Km into M. M of sugar, M of glucose. Sugar does not undergo dissociation. Glucose does not undergo dissociation. Hence, I factor for both the things are same. Next, here the solvent is water. Here the solvent is water. Kf, cryoscopic constant depends on solvents. Cryoscopic constant depends on solvent. If solvent does not changes, Kf does not changes. So Kf same for both the things. So which one differs? Molarity differs. Molarity. So you have to find out the molarity of the sugar and find out the molarity of glucose. If you find out the molarity of sugar and glucose, we can substitute all these things here. So what is the formula for molarity? What is the formula for molarity? Weight by gram molecular weight into 1000 by weight of the solvent in grams. This part belongs to sugar by glucose. Weight of glucose by gram molecular weight of glucose into 1000 by weight of the solvent. This one belongs to glucose. Now look at this one. This 1000 get cancelled. Weight of the solvent, percent 5% is given. Means 5 grams of sugar in 100 grams of water. 5 grams of sugar in 100 grams of water. So water weight is 100 grams. WW get cancelled. So which thing remains here? Weight of sugar by gram molecular weight of sugar. Here also weight of glucose by gram molecular weight of glucose. Now come to this part. Delta DF of sugar. Delta DF formula is T0 minus Ts of sugar by T0 minus Ts of glucose. T0 means freezing point of solvent. T0 means freezing point of solvent. So solvent is water. Water freezing point is given. And that one is 273.15. They said to take the freezing point of water as like this, 273.15. Freezing point of sugar solution also is given, 271 by T0 minus Ts of glucose. Weight of glucose, weight of sugar, 5% of sugar is then 5 by gram molecular weight of sugar 340 by weight of glucose Again, this one also 5%. 5 gram molecular weight of glucose. 180. This 5 get cancelled. So we get 180 by 342. 180 by 342. How much this one? It is 2.15. 2.15 by T naught minus Ts of glucose is equal to 180 by 342. So T naught minus Ts of glucose is equal to 342 into 2.15 by 180. It comes like this. We know the T naught value. They say take this one minus Ts of glucose. Minus Ts of glucose is equal to 273.15 minus 4.08. This is the solution freezing point, and this one comes as 269 point something. Like that. Kelvins. Look at this one. 5.25% solution of a substance is isotonic with 1.5% urea solution in the same solvent. If density of solution is 1 gram per cc, molar mass of the substance is. So now they are asking the molar mass of the substance, gram molecular weight of the substance. Here the given it is an isotonic solution. So there we have the hint. Isotonic solutions means solutions having same osmotic pressure. So here we have two solutions. One of the solution we don't know what about the solute of this solution. Another one is urea solution. So this is unknown solution. This is urea solution. Osmotic pressure of this unknown solution is pi 1. Osmotic pressure of this urea solution is pi 2. So pi 1 is equal to pi 2. Unknown solution formula CRT. Osmotic pressure formula is C1 or T1. The second one C2 or T2. R get cancelled. T1 T2 get cancelled. So when concentration become equal, then osmotic pressures also become equal. So we know the formula for concentrations N by V. So here number of moles are not given. So write down the number of moles as weight by gram molecular weight. Now I am writing weight by gram molecular weight of unknown solution into 1000 by volume in ml equal to weight by gram molecular weight into 1000 by volume of solution in ml. So here percentages are here. So B become 100. So this one get cancelled. Weight 5.25 by gram molar mass equal to, this is what is the weight of this one, 1.5 by gram molecular weight of urea 60. So cross multiply all these things. 15 ones, 15 40s. Gram molecular weight is equal to 5.25 into 40. 5.25 into 40. So multiply that one, we'll get 210. So this is the gram molecular weight of this unknown solution. Students, you have to practice all these things once again. If you have any material, take the questions from that material and practice the models. I think I covered most of the models. So you practice the other questions from other books.